What does style mean to you?
Style to me means an expression of your individuality. Style is an opportunity to stand out. When I was 18, I was working in the NHS. I could be underneath a desk. I could be carrying a dusty computer, but I'm doing that looking fly. I didn't really know that I would be having my own suit brand. Yeah, I didn't really sit and plan and be like, yeah, cool, I'm gonna do that one.
You said you didn't know you were going to own a fashion brand. What would it have been?
So I've always been a natural salesman. I could sell Santa or Arab. From the age of 6, I was doing car washes. So I've always been a natural hustler. I feel like fashion's about trying to not follow the crowd. I've not seen anybody create a ready-to-wear suit brand. I kind of had that idea to kind of set it up. And at that time, I didn't really know how I was gonna go about it until my friend kind of hooked me up with my supplier. I've always taken a lot of pride in my appearance, right? And I get that from my mum, most definitely. Like, my mum is very, very like presented like prim and proper. I was in a very toxic, abusive 5-year relationship. I was going to therapy whilst I was in that relationship. I feel like I really struggled from being bullied, not knowing my value. I understand why I was bullied now.
This episode is brought to you by 1219 Styles. For quality bespoke suits crafted to perfection, all from the comfort of your home. Schedule a virtual measurement today at www.1219styles.co.uk.
Thank you very much for coming, Jem. How you doing?
No, not too bad, man. It's a pleasure
Yeah,
to be here, loving what you're doing, bro. Yeah, man, it's just the honor.
pleasure is mine. What does style mean to you?
Style. Style to me means an expression of your individuality. Style is an opportunity to stand out. Style is just a way to express, you know? And that can apply to so many different things. Do you know what I'm saying? Doesn't just have to be fashion. It could be driving, the way you drive style. You know what I'm saying? You play football, you play the style. Do you know what I'm saying? It's how you express yourself. I feel like fashion's about trying to not follow the crowd. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like most big fashion houses have their own uniqueness. Louis Vuitton is different from Gucci. They're both high value luxury brands, but they have their own uniqueness. So I feel like fashion is bigger than just how you dress. You know, fashion is energy. Fashion allows you to mix clothes with culture and community and people. So yeah, that's what I kind of feel like fashion is.
If you're to define your own style, how will you?
Sharp like a razor. Nothing's out of place. Nothing's out of place. Like
100%.
yeah, like literally, I'm always making sure everything is just never lacking.
Never like it.
Never lacking.
Abundant.
You feel me?
Let's then take it back to the very beginning. You're the founder of SUITD London. How and where did the journey start for you?
The journey probably started when I was 17. I did an IT apprenticeship, and a part of the dress code for the apprenticeship was to come in like smart wear. So tie, blazer, suit. Obviously I was 17, so like hadn't worked a proper job yet at that point in my life. But the whole point of this apprenticeship was to kind of get you ready for the working world, right? So when I was 18, I got my first job as an IT apprentice, working for the NHS. I've always taken a lot of pride in my appearance, right? And I get that from my mum, most definitely. Like, my mum is very, very like, what's the word? Presented like prim and proper. Do you know what I'm saying? So when I was 18, I was working in the NHS, and I remember I was the smartest dressed person out of my team. I think IT has a bit of a stereotype. You feel like the nerds and like combat trousers and t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? So I was one of the only people in my team coming to work in a 3-piece suit, and my job was, I could be underneath a desk, I could be carrying a dusty computer, but I'm doing that looking fly, right? And people would be like, oh, like, you just so smart. What do you do? And I was like, I'm only an apprentice, but my mantra was always dress for the job you want, not the job you have. Right? So from the age of 18, I was already manifesting sitting in this seat that I'm in now as a founder of a company as a boss or as a CEO of some sort. Do you know what I'm saying? For a long time, I had to play my role as the employee and learn what I needed to learn. All of that kind of built me for where I am today. You know, like working a 9 to 5. These are life skills that you can't really get anywhere else. Do you know what I'm saying? Unless you're kind of in it and doing it. One of my inspirations as a teenager was Scott Disick, and he was with Kourtney Kardashian at the time. And like his whole vibe was just slick, like super sharp. Do you know what I'm saying? Like smoker jackets, you know, double-breasted blazers, beautiful trench coats. Like he was just classy, right? And I just remember thinking, this is how I want to be dressing when I'm older. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't really know that I would be having my own suit brand. Yeah, I didn't really sit and plan and be like, yeah, cool, I'm going to do that one day, right? I knew I'd do something within suits. Yeah, I didn't know what that looked like when I was younger. But all I remember just saying to myself was, one day you're going to be in GQ, right?
Yeah.
And how I end up in GQ, I don't know how, but I was like, I'm going to get in there somehow, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like I low-key kind of manifested a lot of things, yeah? And to kind of get to this point kind of happened very organically. I always said, so I think around like 2020, I said to myself, I'm gonna set up my own suit brand, right? Like the market's saturated with streetwear. I feel like a lot of people from our culture, black, they go down the streetwear route, yeah? I can name 20 black-owned streetwear brands right now. I guarantee you can't name me 10 ready-to-wear, black-owned suit shops that's from someone from our culture, from our culture and from our generation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about the Ozil Botangs and David Wedges. We're not talking about any of these. We're talking about a guy from the streets. I'm from East London, but I went to school in Hackney. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I've not seen anybody create a ready-to-wear suit brand. I kind of had that idea to kind of set it up. And at that time, I didn't really know how I was going to go about it until my friend kind of hooked me up with my supplier, who's based in Turkey. And that was around 2022. So 2022, I had it in the back of my head, cool, I'm going to plan for this. So I would save some money. It took me about, 3 years? There was a lot of partying going on in between there. So I probably could have done it a bit sooner, yeah, but but all in God's timing, right? So yeah, literally, I got the money together. I went to Turkey in end of March this year, and I met my supplier. For the first time, I went to his shop, hundreds of suits, all different styles. I put an order for like 5 different styles. So I came back with like 35 suits. Like I said, seven sizes in each set, yeah. So I had about 35 suits. And from April this year, I've just been building, like literally. So it's still very, very, very fresh. But what's been achieved in the last 4 months is kind of blown me away, because I could have never expected things to kind of like skyrocket the way that it has in the last couple of months. Like when I first had this idea, you know, I had such a different plan before I actually launched the brand. You know, there's a saying, yeah, that I've been quoting a lot recently, and it's the right doors won't open for you until you're ready to walk through them. For such a long time, I feel like I was destined for greatness. Didn't know what that greatness looked like, or do you know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of bumps on the journey, a lot of tears, a lot of pain, a lot of lessons, but there was all building me for the shower of blessings that have been bestowed upon me and that are still yet to come. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I feel like that's kind of like where it started and like how we kind of ended up here now.
That is quite inspiring to hear.
Mm.
Not even quite inspiring. That is actually very inspiring to hear. To see that just from you being a lover of fashion and to you having an opportunity in that industry to have like a brand of your own, that's a lot of inspiration in there. And I know that it is always very easy to just say to look at these stories and just talk about them in 5 minutes. But in between those 5 minutes are long years of pain, are long years of pain, regret, and nights of you almost giving up. But before we get into all of that, let's take it back to your own early childhood. What was it like? And you said you didn't know you were going to own a fashion brand. What would it have been?
So I've always been a natural salesman. Yeah, I've always gifted a gab. I could sell Santa or Arab. From the age of 6, I was doing car washing on my street. £5 a car. So I've always been a natural hustler. When I was, so from 6, and then from 5 to 15, I was in performing arts school. So I was singing, dancing, acting, so very creative. But from a business perspective, I've always kind of just naturally been good at hustling. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what it is. Do you know what I mean? I've always been good at selling. My first job was in Uniqlo. Then I went to River Island. So retail, sales, smashed it there. So yeah, like literally my childhood was quite a weird childhood because I was bullied really bad, yeah, in primary school. And primary school was kind of just like silly playground stuff, like, you know, physical, people bullying you on your physical appearance or whatever. Do you know what I mean? That was a tough time, but it got tougher when I got to secondary school. My father founded Choice FM, which is the first black radio station that was on commercial airways in the 90s, right? So they paved the way for a lot of the GRMs and the link-up TVs. Like Choice FM was the first platform to give us a voice in the UK, right? So back in those days, everybody listened to radio. Everybody knew who my family were. My parents had nice cars, right? So I'm getting dropped to school in a Hackney, right? And you just put a massive target on my back in school, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? And I was raised with nothing but love and kindness. So when I've got guys trying to give me a hard time just for silly stuff, I didn't really have to deal with that, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Secondary school was a bit of a weird time. What that did was it kind of created a bit of a problem in me, yeah? And what I mean by that is when I came out of school, I kind of created this other persona of myself, yeah? Which was called Gems, yeah? My name is Jem now, I dropped the Z as I've gotten older. And Gems was fake it till you make it, right? Fake it till you make it. Champagne lifestyle, lemonade money.
Champagne lifestyle, lemonade money.
Yeah. So I was living way above my means those times, yeah. And I was living above my means because I was trying to be loved in it. I wanted people to. I needed validation from other people in it because of me. I feel like me getting bullied throughout my whole school years. It kind of made me want love and to be wanted by people. So like I was seeking validation from people. The problem with that was what I was willing to do to maintain this persona that I created that wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? I was doing certain things that my mother would be very disappointed in. I was risking my freedom, my safety for just silly things to maintain this image, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? And it took me going to therapy and going to counselling to understand that I had unresolved trauma from being bullied from a kid, which was kind of controlling me in my adolescence, right? So I had to kind of do the right work on myself to understand who I am and why I do certain things the way I do them. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so pretty much that's kind of like how the childhood kind of shaped my adulthood, essentially. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't regret any of that because I think going to therapy helped me in ways that I couldn't imagine. It's built me into a very controlled, vulnerable person. I feel like there's a lot of strength in being able to be vulnerable. Yeah, I feel like us as men don't really know how to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it could be seen as weakness, being vulnerable. Do you know what I'm saying? But there is a massive power in being vulnerable and being real. So I feel like going through those bumpy roads and going through that therapy definitely taught me how to be more vulnerable. Also taught me to know my worth as well. I feel like I really struggled from being bullied, not knowing my value, right? I understand why I was bullied now. People are threatened by me. Do you know what I'm saying? People are threatened by what they don't understand, right? Or what they can't comprehend, right? So looking back now, I see what it was. Because I look at these guys that were bullying me now, that bullying me back then. Where are they now? Do you know,
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
And at what point were you able to make that decision to say, it is time for me to resolve this issue?
I was in a very toxic, abusive 5-year relationship. Yeah, from the age of 23 till about 28. When I say abusive, I mean like, so me and my ex-girlfriend, we would argue and like, yeah, she might try slap me or swing a punch or, you know, like, I kind of enabled that behavior for 5 years, yeah, because I never retaliated. Yeah, never hit her back once. Just kind of had to restrain and deal with the situation, yeah. But I was going to therapy whilst I was in that relationship. But the therapy that I was doing was kind of counterproductive because my therapist is telling me that your situation is unhealthy for you, but then I'm going back to that unhealthy situation. So it was kind of counterproductive. And I think the real change happened when I left that relationship, you know, and that's when it really hit me. It was like I took 10, maybe 20 steps back is what I felt. You know, I feel like with the physical abuse in that relationship, the effects of the mental abuse didn't hit me until I left that relationship. You know what I'm saying? So there was even more work to do when I came out of that relationship, you know? So I feel like, yeah, going through that definitely shaped me into a better rounded man, if anything. Do you know what I'm saying? I knew my triggers. I knew what was causing me pain or what was slowing me down. So I knew kind of what to deal with when I'm doing that self-work, essentially.
So, because this is a topic men usually don't talk about. If a woman come out to say, "My husband beats me," it's a welcome conversation. But even we men amongst men, it's a topic that you most likely don't want to. You don't want to even speak up and speak out. During those years, what did you feel like you got a support, or how did you get a support to walk through those years?
The crazy thing about that was when you're in it, yeah, you don't want to be telling your boys that you're having beef with your girl when your girl's trying to fight. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a weird one, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? Then you don't want to go to the women in your family about it because they're just gonna try fight her or try. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing is that my mum and my sister told me from quite early on in my relationship that this relationship wasn't for me. They saw the red flags, they saw the signs. I didn't see them. Right? And most people don't see the signs when they're in a relationship. I didn't really have any support like that because it was the first time I've been in that situation, isn't it? So I'm still feeling like we're in love and this is just a part of our wild relationship. Do you know what I'm saying?
This is an ordeal in
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, we just need to hop over this hurdle and then like we'll be good. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're in long-term relationships, yeah, I feel like situations like that kind of get brushed under the carpet. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially when you live with your partner. It's just like, oh, we're living together. You don't want the bad vibes. You just want everything just to kind of go back to normal. So it's very easy to kind of forget about that. Plus, for me, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I kind of played it down for a long time, innit? Like, how bad it was. Yeah, like looking back now, I realize how messed up that whole situation was. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna ask you a question, yeah? Because I was raised under the pretense of there's consequences for your actions. Yeah. So if I did something wrong around the house or I was bad at school, my mum's coming home. I'm coming home. And the first thing my mum's doing is whooping my ass, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And I knew straight away, never do that again. Yeah. In a situation where a girl that you love, isn't it, that you're in a relationship with, she hits you, right? The first time. You can kind of brush off the first time. Yeah, then it happens 2, 3 more times. Because she's not seeing any consequence to that action, she's feeling like, I can just keep doing this. Yeah, because I know he's not gonna retaliate, right? He's not hit me back the first 3 times. So I know I can probably get away with it next 3 times. So in that situation, what do you think as a man you could do to kind of not allow time 4, 5, 6 to happen after the first 3 times?
This is a very tricky one because the easy answer would be to say walk away, but which is like the right answer.
That is the right answer.
The right answer is to just walk away from that message, walk away from that sin. And if I'll be honest with you, thinking back as well, I used to have been in like relationships that I could as well see that mine wasn't the beating. I could have seen I saw some red flags from the very beginning as well. And now that I'm on this other side, my answer then is when this person was doing this, when we were having this whole conversation or this whole argument, I could have just walked away from this means. But the problem is as well is that it is always easy for us to say walk away. But what makes it difficult is because emotions are involved already. You said you guys were together for about 5 years and you at the point you start looking at the number of years you've been together. So you then just be like, okay, maybe this person
Can change.
maybe this person can change. Maybe this person can, with time, this person is going to get better. And what that then start doing to you is you start questioning you yourself to say, maybe the problem is actually with me. If I'm able to do better in this and in that, maybe that will make situation different entirely. So, but at the end of the day, it is not really you. It is more of like the action and the person who is taking the action as well. Oh, she's not here.
But I was gonna ask her, yeah.
Yeah, she
I would love to know her thoughts on that.
yeah, she's a psychologist. She worked as a psychologist
Okay.
for a while. So I think which is why it is now encouraged, and this is why we then need to then encourage it more for people seeking help, for people speaking out, for people like talking to men who are older in their lives. And I think most importantly, it is important for younger men as well to seek the right help in the right places, because you could have gone to seek help with a friend and you tell him this is what you're going on, and they do not give you a response that is logical.
Yeah.
They give you a response that they too are just outbursting from emotions and then say, oh, why would you let a girl do you like that?
Yeah.
Then that just that makes the matter of the whole
Even worse.
the whole situation was.
Yeah.
So I think we just need to then encouragement to like seek help in the right place. Yeah, because all of this, from listening to your own story as well, I can as well relate to them, because at some point in my own life as well, I had walked through that part. I remember when I was in secondary school. You people call it high school. Is that the
That's secondary school here as well. Secondary school.
Oh, it's secondary school here as well. Yeah. Oh, in America it's high school. Yeah. So I remember for 6 years, my classmates called me Okunloro. My surname is Okunloro. They took out the Loro and replaced it with Owo, which means ugly.
Right.
So every day I'm going to school, everybody is calling me ugly, and that was the name. And I look back when I was going to then start my own journey into this creative space. It kind of affected me in a way, because my fear then was always I won't be that accepted by people. Like, oh, my classmate had always called me ugly. Who wants to listen to what an ugly person will have to say? I remember when Facebook was out then, and I didn't really wanted to open Facebook because I was holding back to put out my own pictures there. I don't want people calling me ugly. But every time I give glory and thanks to my own mom as well, because there was a time she came to school to like one there was a guy who was always on my tail, and he came to give him his own lash, and that stopped a bit. But what she did was she was building my own confidence back at home, that I didn't even really realize
it. Yeah.
It is nowadays I can look back and then say, this is what my mom was saying back then. She would tell me, oh, look at your legs are long, look at how tall you are, you have a good character. And I'm telling you this not because I'm your mom. Anybody that's saying you're not handsome, it is none of your business. You can't pay attention. People will always talk, but look at the good virtue you have. You're a kind person. You're someone with a good character. I see the way you look out for your sisters, your brother, even at this your young age. You have a vision of where you're heading to, and I think that really helped me a lot back then as well. Because at a point in time, I just zoom out and I just don't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
But when I joined Facebook and I started posting pictures, people would comment, "Oh, nice outfit."
Yeah.
And then in me that I thought I would really not, I would not have friends. And in a short space of time, had over 700, 1,000 friends on Facebook. People sending me requests. And I think back then, you having about 1,000 friends on Facebook, you're a celebrity. Yeah. So, and I think it was at that point I started stepping into a new version of myself. But I would say that even this new version of my own self has been a lot of work, a lot of me being looking myself into the mirror and being able to like count on. Yeah.
Did it how do you make you feel like you were encouraged on Facebook and people that you didn't know were treating you better than people that you had from day to day?
Yeah, okay.
You're getting more love from people.
Yeah, so I think me then joining Facebook then and having those people following me, adding me up as friends and having that as well made me feel good as well. And it just made me feel like, okay, it's not a big deal. It's really not an issue. And I think because I started emceeing at a very young age, at the age of 17 as well, and me standing in front of people, it affected me a bit when I just started because there was always that fear of acceptance. But over the years, I can now see that the more I was able to do, the more I feel more confident about it, and the more I'm able to learn that whatever anybody has said in the past, they were just being foolish.
Yeah.
They were just being intimidated. And like you said the other time, that you look back and look at the people saying all of these things, the people bullying you, and you just which is one thing that it is not from a space of pride, but you can as well see that there was something most likely about you back then that was intimidating. Yeah. And that is why they've picked against you. It probably might not even be what they can see. It might be their own spirits. It might just be a jealousy from their own spirit, seeing your own greatness and seeing how you move. And I think that was that was what it is.
That's what I said. That's what I literally said. Looking back now, I understand that they was more so threatened than anything. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I hear that. I hear you fully.
But yeah,
So can I be what's asking questions right here?
what question do you?
Okay, so you know how you said that you were believed from young was your fashion sense, was it always like you always expressing yourself from fashion from young?
Nah, not that
Secondly.
not that young. Pretty much when I left school.
When you left school?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if they believe you about your fashion, how you kept that you.
Yeah, no, that was the bullying was more so guys just trying to extort me. Do you know what I'm saying? Trying to get money out of me or just it wasn't really the pride in my appearance and my fashion really grew when I was going to the apprenticeship. Because it's I needed a reason. I had a reason to wear a tie. I had a reason to wear a suit, So that's where things really started to change. And then I started to just see the difference in love I was getting. Just like you when you went to Facebook and then you're seeing how people online that you don't even know are giving you more love than people that you see on an everyday basis, right? So with me, I remember jumping onto Instagram 2011, 2012. This is way before Instagram was what it is today. Yeah. And I was doing a lot of fashion content. Yeah. I'll send you some pictures so we can clip it in. Yeah.
Okay.
And I amassed most of my followers on my Instagram from that period of time. I remember I was getting 100 likes on a picture, bro, in 2012. Do you know what that is?
The days you still get I've forgotten how those notifications come. Those are the times when Instagram was still chronological. No algorithms.
Yeah.
Literally.
Square. Yeah. that's when they had the following tab where you could see what the people you're following are doing. You know, like there's that person liked a picture, a comment is so that's those are the breaking up a lot of relationships, sis. And that time, I'm glad they got rid of that feature still. But yeah, no, literally, that's kind of where, that's kind of when I started really pushing the fashion content. Was early Instagram days, because I was getting featured on a lot of
Style vlogs.
style blogs, like Black Men with Style. They used to always feature me. Men's Fashion Review. These are all very big platforms back in 2012. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure they're still going now. But yeah, literally, that's kind of where things started to change from like
The fashion.
Yeah. Because in school, I was in school, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Outside of school, tracksuit, whatever. I remember dropping out of college, wanting to go full time. I just wanted to earn money. I remember getting an opportunity for this shop called Micro and Vika in Tottenham Court Road, and it was for their concession in Harrods. And I was one of 20 people out of 120 people. I was one of 20 who got the job, and I was 16 years old, no experience, right? But I would just do little things during that recruitment day that were kind of just little thoughtful things, like writing on a piece of paper, "Thank you for having me today. I've really loved today." Just little things like that. But my mum, she nearly beat me when I came home and I told her I dropped out of college. Right? So she was like, "You better get a job, because there's no way you're just going to be in this house doing nothing, innit?" Right? Which is why I went to the recruitment day. So I was meant to get the job in Harrods, but the Harrods floor manager didn't think I was knowledgeable enough about the products. And I remember walking home crying that day. Yeah, just crying, thinking my mum's gonna beat me. I was really wanted that job. That was my first job opportunity. And then I remember I walked home and there was a letter addressed to my mum about this IT academy. I was like, God works in very mysterious ways, because I don't know how that found its way to my mum. My mum hadn't applied for anything. And that's pretty much where like everything started, like from working in IT. Like I still work in tech now, so I've worked in tech for like 17 years. So I'm still working a full-time job whilst running SUITD. But it's probably having the IT job that's kept me on my suiting. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I've needed a reason to, not even needed a reason, because a lot of the jobs that I've worked, bro, if you see my colleagues in my team, you wouldn't think we're in the same team. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they're so casual, man, are in snapbacks and hoodies. Do you know what I'm saying? But I've always kept myself very presentable. Plus, I want people to remember me when they see me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you might not know my name, but you're gonna remember that smart guy who was walking up and down the office. You know what I mean?
So did you go back to college then?
No,
No.
I didn't go back to college. I did the apprenticeship.
Okay.
For 5 months, and then after the 5 months, I was one of the lucky people to go straight into a job. So yeah, I got the job at the NHS, and then from the NHS, I've been contracting in IT ever since. So like, I've worked at some dope places, bro. I've worked for banks, I've worked for fashion brands, I've worked for Gucci Group, looking after all their brands: Alexander McQueen, Balenciaga, Stella McCartney. I've worked for Mulberry. I've worked for Warner Music Group, like government contracts. Like it's endless. Like my CV is very, very long. I love the fact that I have an excuse to kind of put a suit on an everyday, on an everyday basis. You know what I mean?
What role in tech were you?
What role? So I started off doing IT support.
Okay.
Any IT issues with your equipment, your phone, it would come through to my team and we would try and resolve the issue. That's kind of where I started. Then I kind of went into like project management, doing that more IT project related stuff. And then I've been team lead. I've had teams of engineers that I manage. So that job is very second nature to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is why I'm able to kind of work that business whilst I start my own business. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it kind of, the balance is real good.
So now, at the moment, you're still the project manager?
Yeah, so I'm working as an engineer, as an IT engineer. I've got a government contract right now. So literally, I'm in the public sector at the minute. And yeah, so we basically, we work with, not even going to say too much about where I work because it's quite serious still, but we got some serious politicians is all I'm going to say that we look after. Yeah.
How have you then been able to blend that with Suited London?
I'm a bit of a madman in terms of like, I'm 100 miles an hour, high energy. Like, I was diagnosed with ADHD 2019, right? So the way my mind works is very, 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 very crazy. Like, I process 100 thoughts in a second. Like, I see things from so many different perspectives in a split second. Yeah, like my brain don't stop in it. And when I say I'm a bit of a madman, I say it in a way of like Albert Einstein mad. Like, I feel like everyone called him mad. Yeah, but I feel like in life, to achieve heights that are unthinkable to the normal man, you have to be a bit crazy to think that I can make that happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So, luckily, before, I've also got a car business that I started in 2017. And I set that up whilst alongside working in IT. And then I got to the crossroads where I was like, right, am I handing in my notice and going all in with my own business, or am I going to keep working for these guys? And I was earning good, but I was earning way more with my car business. But you know, having that security gave me that comfort blanket, right? But I took that step and kind of handed in my notice January 2018 with the IT contract I had at the time to go all in with my car business. So I've kind of been here before. You know what I'm saying? I've worked a 9 to 5 whilst starting a new business. You know, so bro, one of my sayings that I live by is money never sleeps. Right? So, bro, there's 24 hours in a day. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like making the most of those 24 hours because my IT contract right now is 3 days a week in the office. Yeah, so I'll go in the office, I'll be in the office 9 to 5. And then from 5 till 1, 2 a.m., I'm in my studio working on Suited. Do you know what I'm saying? Go home, wake up 7 o'clock, back to the office, finish at 5, back to the studio, do that again. Do you know what I'm saying? The days that I work from home, I work from my studio, Suited studio. Do you know what I'm saying? So, bro, you get out what you put in. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, if you ain't giving what you're doing 100%, you can't expect great rewards, you know, or to see the fruits of your labor if you're not giving 100%. Do you know what I'm saying? So my thing's always been like, you got to work harder than anybody else if you want to be different from anybody else. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sparring. Yeah. So, if you're to advise someone on how to manage their time between, hold on, before we get even to the advice, what happened to the car business?
So multi-cars served its purpose. Yeah, and when I say served its purpose and what I mean by